I normally like to sit on a chair, and I don't actually think I have a chair on this save. Help, you will do nicely. Sit right in front of our little blueberries. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So as you've probably read the title, on today's video we are going over some of the best foraging related mods that I've found on Nexus. Foraging is such a fun part of this game and can also help you make a little bit of bank on the side. They're also really great for things like gifting, and overall it's just a really fun concept of the game. But I will say it does sometimes feel a little bit lackluster, and I have downloaded a couple of different foraging mods into my games that have just really expanded how my game runs and how I play this. So I'm super excited to share all of them with you. Before we get further on into the video, here is a quick disclaimer, a little bit of information regarding all of our modding related content. So first of all of these mods are downloadable through Nexus Mods. Nexus Mods is a really amazing site. It also showcases and has most of the mods that you'll find for Stardew Valley on there. Additionally, as of March 2024, the 1.6 update is out. This update has definitely affected mods, and I know that a lot of creators are slowly working on getting some of these mods updated. I cannot confirm or deny if the mods that I'm showcasing in this video will work with 1.6, solely because most of these mods will need a backing mod such as a content patcher, the updated Smappy, or something like alternate textures. Simply because sometimes an old mod might work with an updated content patcher, and as much as I want to test all of these mods out, my poor little computer cannot handle it. So just make sure that when you download your mods and open them up in your Smappy, that you quickly check to see any mods highlighted in red. And you can also check out this incredible website, smappy.io, which will show you a newer version of the mod if this one is no longer compatible. And then also, if you want to keep up to date with your mods, just make sure to check out these purple ones here, which means that you can update them. And lastly, I will be listing all of the mods that I showcase in this video in the description below. I've broken them up into timestamps of the categories and then timestamps for all of the mods as well. If there was a particular one that you liked, you can see where the timestamp is and then the link right next to it. Anyway, now that's out of the way, let's get back to the video. So as always, I've popped these into a couple of different categories. So for our first category, we have anything expansions related or new forage related mods. For the second one, I didn't know what to call this, so I've just got it forage on farm category. So pretty much anything foraging relating that you can now do in a sense as a crop. Up next, we have our good old retexture mods. And then finishing us off, we have any miscellaneous related mods in this category. I have been really going ham and giving you guys big modding lists. So we went a little bit tame today, or at least tried to, but let's get straight into it. Starting it off with one of my current top mods, which I recommend everyone should get. This is Atelier Wildflower Secret Forage Locations. So this is a mod that adds in brand new secret foraging maps across Stardew Valley, and they will appear based on various things to do with your life in the valley, like your foraging skill level, friendship level, and more. So the smaller details of this mod is it adds in 8 brand new secret forage maps. These areas are a little secret, so it may appear hard to find at first, but then when you see it, you'll be like all over it. Some of these things are unlocked by becoming better friends with NPCs and leveling skills. And then as well, for the new 1.6 update, you can unlock all of these locations via a configuration. So we do get a little sneak peek as to where some of them are. You do have like one in Ginger Island. You've got one on the beach. There's one near the caves, and so many more. I love this because I will say a lot of these mods have super helped me with things like the community center, just in general money as well, but also gifting. All of these items are pretty much liked gifts by everyone. So this is also a really beneficial mod if you're like me and very bad at the gifting aspect of this game. It is a really fun mod. And to follow this one up, we have Atelier Wildflower Crops and Forage. This adds in brand new seasonable forageables and crops to Stardew Valley in the form of things like new fruits, flowers, mushrooms, nuts, herbs, and more. So it adds in 36 brand new crops, 23 new trees, and as well just super expands foraging. I think that there are too many different items, and these are really great. Again, they're super just liked items by pretty much everyone, and they're adorable and cute and have some really great benefits. A lot of them are able to be eaten, so you can take them with you on like early game mining trips and stuff. But again, this is just one of my like favorite mods that I've installed into my game recently. I love all of the different kind of forageable things that you can find, and like the options are limitless. Like you will walk into a new area and there's something brand new you haven't seen at all. It's a very cool mod. And last for this list, a little short one, but we have the Forage of Ferngill. This is a big expansion to foraging within Stardew Valley. It gives you more fruit, flowers, mushroom, edible roots, artisan goods, and even meals. And this one also has built-in compatibility with Stardew Valley Expanded, Ridgeside Village, East Carp, Cape Stardew, and Mount Vapius. So it covers a lot of the expansion mods. I absolutely love this. There are a couple of different mushrooms, both common and exotic. music, some new dishes. They can appear in the little boxes in your farm cave if you choose mushrooms over the fruit bats. You can make a ton of different artisan goods with them. And there's even some more things that you can forage for on the beach and even make those into dishes. I just think it is an overall really cool mod. There's so many new things that you can bring into the game, but as well, a lot of this stuff just really adds on to the base game forageables, which I love. And overall, it's just a really big expansion to foraging within the game. I definitely recommend this one. It's a little bit short, but we are onto our next category, which is our foraging on our farms. And starting us off strong in this one, we've got the growable forage and crop bushes. So this is a mod that adds a few new crops to grow vanilla forage items, as well as convert some of your vanilla crops into bushes. So you can now plant crops for spring onions, ginger, crocus, and sweet peas. You can get mushroom planters for the chanterelle, morel, and common mushroom. You can get some new plantable bushes for your salmon berries, blackberries, and hollies. As well, it turns grapes, cactus fruit, blueberry, coffee beans, and hops into bushes, so they will survive all year round without watering, but they will only produce in their normal seasons. And as well, you can get some new fruit trees for growing things like hazelnuts and coconuts. Overall, this is a really, really great mod, especially if you really enjoy the sort of farming aspect of the game, because I know I do. But I also really enjoy foraging, so it's really cool that we can bring those two together and have it all in one place. Up next on the list, we have fruit trees for vanilla forage fruits. So this one adds in custom fruit trees to your game that will grow some of the forageable items that you find throughout the game. So for instance, you can get a cactus tree that produces cacti in summer. You can get a crystal fruit tree that gives you some extra things in winter. You can get a spiceberry tree, which produces spice berries in the summer. And as well, you can get a coconut tree, a golden coconut tree as well, and then even a wild plum tree and a hazelnut tree. All of these things can be purchased from either Sandy or Pierre and will just produce items within the seasons. I think this is really cool. I absolutely love how the different trees look, and it's just great to be able to get these foraging items from the comfort of your farm. Up next on the list, we have crops for Ridgeside forageables. So if you are like me and enjoy Ridgeside Village, you'll notice that you can get a ton of different forageable items throughout the game. And this mod essentially adds those forageable items to be able to plant on your farm and grow. There are a ton of really cool forageable items that you can find within Ridgeside Village, so it's really cool that we can now grow them again from the comfort of our farm, but we don't always have to make a trip up there to go and get these items. And up next, pretty much added to the name of the category, we have Forage to Farm. This adds in crops for the items that are found by foraging in the game, and as well, all 4 seasons will have crops, including mushrooms, trees, and Ginger Island. There are a few forageable items that cannot be turned into seeds, but it's 4 out of the how many have we got? So you can start growing your things like spring onions and dandelions, daffodils and everything throughout spring. In summer, we can grow a super hoard of sweet peas for all of those gifting opportunities. In fall, you can get a ton of different mushrooms and your hazelnuts. And then of course, in winter, you can get your things like a crocus, a holly, a winter root, and more. I do know that realistically, we do have wild seeds in the game, but I do really like this mod because with the wild seeds, it's always very up in the air. You don't know what you're going to get. And say for instance, I really want to just grow 50 sweet peas because I want to gift them out to everyone. I can do that instead of relying on however many batches it'll take to get 50 sweet peas from those wild seeds. It is very, very cool. And lastly on this list, we have the Forage at the Farm mod. So this mod spawns in forageable items on your farm every day. So it's a little bit different from the previous ones because it's not something that you're growing year round. You just wake up and you have forageable items on your farm like you would throughout the entire town. You can also change what is going to spawn on your farm and how often and where they're going to spawn sort of stuff through a configurable list. And overall, it is just really cool. I absolutely love the idea that we can just do a bit of foraging on the farm. Again, there are some days where we just have so much to do that we don't really get a chance to leave and go foraging. So I love that we can just do it again from the comfort of our home. That is it for our foraging on the farm related mods. Coming in next, we have our retexture mods. I will say before we get into this, a lot of these ones do also alter how crops look. Crops and forage were really thrown in together, and I kind of wanted to split them into 2 separate videos because there are a lot of like crop related ones, but these of course textures will change your crops as well. But starting us off, we have Nora's crop and forage mod. I don't know if I pronounced the name and it probably sounded really Australian. I'm sorry. So this of course changes the look of the crops and forage in the game, changes into a little bit more of a realistic look, a bit of a muted and toned down look, and just overall gives it a little bit more depth and texture to the items. I'm just a big fan of retexture mods. I absolutely love how all of these ones look, and I think would be a really great addition into your game. Up next, we have a cuter Ridgeside Village Forage and Crops Retexture. I absolutely love the different forageable items that we can get in Ridgeside Village, but again, they do look a bit funky sometimes and scare me a little bit. So this is where that mod comes in. It changes, of course, the texture of the forageable items within the game, makes them a little bit more muted and toned down and a little bit more appealing on the eye. I love how this one looks. I kind of want to install it for my big playthrough that we have over here. Up next on this list, we have the fancy Crops and Forage Retexture. So this is actually the pack that I run in my game, and it is just a nice fancier and fresh look for the crops, forage and seeds. The thing that I really enjoy about this one is it is a little bit more muted and toned down on the eye. It looks a little bit more natural, sort of looking more like how the items would look, but it does also still keep with how the original game items look. I love the subtle changes to these ones, because even for a few of the items, it's really not noticeable what the differences are. This one also changes how the seeds look, as well as how the little seed bags look, which I absolutely love. That is like the one big thing I really wanted to change in my game was the seed bags, and I've been struggling to find one that did, and this one just does all of it. I love how all of the forageable items look, and as well, I guess it does change the crops. The crops look pretty cool too. It is a really great mod. And lastly, on this list, we have cuter crops and foraging. So this mod, of course, just retextures the crops and forageable items in Stardew, and this one helps them to be a little bit more cute and also colorful. It does still add that little bit more toned down look to them. And this is actually done by the creator who made the Atelier Forage mods that we spoke about at the start of the video, and I absolutely just love how these look. They have made a few updates to it, and I'm keen to see how this looks in the game. A very gorgeous looking mod. Well, that was it for our retexture mods. We are coming in near the end. We are on our miscellaneous category. There are only a few to go through here, but firstly, we have the Forage and Crops category remix. I thought this one was really neat, so I'm keen to share it with you guys. So this one allows you to change the categories and edibility of certain forage, crops, artisan goods, and other items. So it changes a lot of forageable items to things like flowers, fruit, and vegetables. It changes a couple of fruits to vegetables and then vegetables to fruits, or even things to no category. This completely changes how the game is, because now you can eat items that you normally wouldn't be able to eat, like a golden pumpkin, but also now changes so that you can't eat things like hops, tea leaves, or wheat. So that forces you to kind of make them into an artisan good. It's not a super huge overhaul, but it is a really neat feature to it, and just sort of changes how much energy some of this stuff can give you, so that it makes foraging a little bit more worthwhile to take with you to do things like fishing or even going to the mines. I think it's really neat that you can do that, and you can now eat a sweet gemberry, which is kind of cool. Up next, we have Better Farm Cave Forage. So when Demetrius comes over, he will ask you if you want to set up mushrooms or a fruit bat cave. So if you pick that fruit bat cave, this one increases the spawn and frequency of fruits in this cave. It does work better with larger size sort of modded related caves on here, and there are so many you can add, and it is really cool if you want to sort of up your foraging level, but you don't really want to be walking around the entire town, because you can again just do it from the comfort of your farm. I think this is such a neat mod. I'm currently benefiting from one that I downloaded where I'm getting a ton of forageables in my farm cave, and it is great for that little bit of money and also great for those gifts, and also the community center. Can't go wrong there. Up next, almost at the end, but we have the Forage Pointers mod. So this one adds in little arrows over on-screen forage, and the radius increases with all of our foraging levels. So as it looks, it is just a little pointer that shows you where the little worms are, and as well shows you where forageable items can be. Sometimes you'll find things that are hidden, or the little worms are hidden behind something, so this could be really convenient if you do want to go down a more foraging path. And it's just also great if like foraging is not really your strong suit, but you want to level it up. It could just be great to sort of know where everything is. And lastly on our list, we have the Forage Survival Burger. So this replaces the Survival Burger cooking recipe that you get with brand new foraging based crafting and cooking recipes. So this adds in 4 different variations for it. You've got a spring, summer, fall, and winter options. You just need bread for all of them, and then a couple of different items that you can find throughout those seasons. It gives you +3 foraging, and of course your 125 energy and 56 health for this one. And I think it's just really great to make more use out of your forageable items. It is super neat and very convenient, and again really pushes that foraging aspect of the game. Well besties, that was it for our foraging mods for Stardew. Let me know your thoughts on these ones, and leave a comment down below if you have any that I missed that you would recommend, and as well which ones you would downloading, but I'm keen to hear what some of your guys' favorite foraging things are. As always, besties, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to be notified for my next uploads. And let me know in the comments below what kind of modding related content you want me to cover on the channel. But that is it for me. So as always, I will catch all of you guys on the next one. Bye everybody.